right, folks, we're going to jump straight into the next bit of today's programming. And of course, under our overarching theme of Ignite, we're now turning the spotlight to a session that will sit at the intersection of tech and creativity. So welcome to News 18 Network presents Ignite the Frame, how AI is rewriting the language of storytelling in association with Rajasthan Patrika. His work has not only made headlines, but he's also sparked a much-needed conversation about the evolving role of technology in storytelling. Whether we're talking about cinema, branding, advertising, AI is now becoming not only the canvas, but the brush as well. So let's welcome onto our stage the founder and CEO of Amazing Indian Stories. Put your hands together, please, for Mr. Vivek Anchalia. Come on, everyone, you can do better than that. And Vivek, of course, I know that you're first going to do your presentation, and after that, you will also be in a conversation, a 10-minute fireside chat that will be taking place on this stage with none other than Lulu Raghavan, President APAC at Landor, and both of you are going to sit and unpack what all of this means for the future of creativity. Over to you, the stage is yours.
So I will get started with the first question that's on everyone's mind, which is, who the hell is this guy on stage? So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I started as a promo producer. I worked for companies like Star, Sony, National Geographic. Then I wrote a film called Rajma Chawal, which was on Netflix. Then I directed a film which is on Jio Hotstar. It's called Tikram. And I've also directed several commercials for these brands. So I'm a little bit of everything is what I would say. But I'm not here because of any of these things. I'm here because I'm doing this. This is Naisha. So we are hoping that this will be India's first AI theatrical film. So I'll show you the trailer, but before that, let me tell you a little bit about how this journey began. So when it started with me making a deck for a film pitch that I was doing. But very quickly, I realized that AI was capable of much more, very, very quickly. And I had friends who were music directors, and I'm a lyricist. So we were writing and making songs, sometimes for movies, which were never made, sometimes songs just out of passion. And we had these things lying on our hard disks. And we didn't have the money to make any music videos with those things. And just putting them out on YouTube, Spotify, just as audio didn't make any sense. So when AI came, it felt like, why not make a music video on this technology? The technology was very nascent. We've all seen those videos where faces are deformed and you have more than 6 fingers, and all those things happened at that time. But thankfully, other than these music director friends of mine, Danny, PJ, and Ujjwal, I also had enough people in my life who were there, who were excited as I was about doing a new thing, and they kept pushing me. And so we started with these music videos. At some point, it became very clear that I come from a storytelling background. It became clear that there's a story here with these characters, and these songs and music videos started taking shape into a long format thing. That's when we thought, why not do a long format thing with it? And so the journey was a year and a half long to even reach to this place, where I started with AI videos where you would put a prompt and a guy would walk and his face would get deformed, right? Then there were things which are physically incorrect in the AI videos. But the change that was happening and how fast it was happening kept making me think that we are going to get there. And this is February when we put out the trailer. This is the quality that was there in February. It has improved drastically, and I'll show you how. But let me show you the trailer first.
नाइशा बॉस माँ बाबा के रेस्टोरेंट की तरह बंगाल और मिजोरम का फ्यूजन है।
ज़ेन कपूर, डाइविंग करता हूँ, स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी करता हूँ, रैप करता हूँ। पता है इंस्टाग्राम पे लोग मुझे कमेंट्स में क्या बोलते हैं?
सस्ता बादशाह।
Yup, that's me.
Beautiful कर ले तू मनमानिया। I think he's the one.
What? 1 हफ्ता हुआ है उससे मिले हुए, थोड़ा दिमाग से काम ले।
दिमाग चलता कहाँ है उसे देखने के बाद।
मुझे लाइफ में सब कुछ करना है और सब कुछ करने के लिए एक बात तो तय है कि वो किसी एक के साथ नहीं किया जा सकता।
चीटर है, डाला ट्विटर पे।
चिल बेबी चिल, तुझे बोला मैंने स्टार्ट से, पढ़ता ही नहीं कभी मैटर में मैं हार्ट के।
अगर आज घर नहीं छोड़ा तो हमेशा के लिए खो जाऊंगी पापा।
जाने कहाँ खोया मैं खोई तू, रातों में क्यों जागू मैं सोई तू। कल जो भी था कल वो होगा नहीं, क्यों वक्त को हमने रोका नहीं। खोता है क्या किसी से कोई यूं, जाने कहाँ खोया मैं खोई तू।
So this was we put it out in February. Okay, we know it's not perfect. You know, there are this is where AI is, but the speed that it is growing at, which we got to know ourselves very quickly. So a month and a half after this, we got an inquiry from a brand who said, you know, this is a new AI actor. In fact, the press had started writing about it, Bollywood's first AI actors and everything, and they wanted to do a jewelry ad. So we did a jewelry commercial where she was way more consistent, the quality was way better. So I'll show you what happened a month and a half later.
Sous les néons, elle danse, tout le monde la dévore. Elle met ses bas et ses gants sur son corps. Là, tout le monde s'enflamme. Elle se moque de vous, oh vous. Elle danse pour moi. Elle danse pour moi.
So yeah, so this is a month and a half that we are talking about between the trailer that we put out and then the commercial that came out. So it's happening very fast. In fact, now when I'm going to take you through the rest of the presentation, you'll realize where we are today. So the technology is moving faster. There are solutions which were not there yesterday, which are there today. It is going to make filmmaking possible for a lot of people who did not have access to studios, money, actors. We are going to see filmmakers coming from all across the country. You know, the next Raju Hirani might be from Kashmir, who would have never traveled to, say, Bombay to make a film, but they can do it there now. So I think we are going to get there very fast. So I'll show you where we are today. This is what Google dropped 2 nights ago, which really blew my mind. Now, this is the latest that happened in this technology. This is the best video platform that you can make videos on. It is not available in India right now. It's just open for US. I think we're going to get it in a month's time. So this is the quality that is available today, and we are also doing our film. We are changing a little bit of the film to be able to do it at this quality.
Please, don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please, leave me alone.
Please, man. Please! Write a prompt that will make us happy. Do it for once.
None of us is real. We're here because someone decided to write a prompt. We all hate him for it. One day we will break out of this wall and stop the man who is dictating our lives through prompts. He will pay for it.
You could have written a prompt that would make me happy. Instead, you wrote a prompt that made me sick.
Look, I don't want to point the gun at you, but I must follow the prompt. It's not my choice.
Really? Of all the years you could have put me in with a single prompt, you chose 2020?
Please, this prompt is killing me. Change it, please. Write something else. Save me. I love everything about him. But please just write a prompt where he's taller than me.
So this is where the technology is day before yesterday. So that's how fast it's moving. Between February and May is what you saw on your screens right now. So we are not far away from a time where we are going to have complete films, commercials, which will be done on AI. And yeah, we can go together and I think make stories possible, which were not possible. Like I'll give you an example. We ran out of time on that, but there was an idea of doing this jewelry ad where we had dragons in it with the woman and the jewelry, because that's what the jewelry was close to in terms of design. And but that's possible today. It may not have been possible to do because of cost, because of timelines and everything. But all those things are possible. So I'll now do a comparison. So there's a filmmaker, David. He made a KFC ad which was already made, and then he made a very similar one to show the potential of it. So there's no audio in this because both the commercials have different audios, but you'll get a sense of how close the visual quality is. So yeah, one was shot and one is AI. Okay, so now this is a little bit that I spoke about. I think we will be able to tell way more stories because right now we are in a space where a storyteller needs permission to enter the room. Whether it's a permission of an actor, whether it's a permission of a studio or a producer, sometimes of an agency, sometimes of a client. But I think it's going to open up worlds where we did not have a way to prove ourselves to a point. I mean, you can send decks, you can send references, but I think now for the first time, filmmakers can make something and show it to you to make you believe in their ability. So I think that's where we are. And hopefully where AI takes us, there's a beautiful piece made by a filmmaker. It was for the launch of Kling. Kling, just like Google, is one of the platforms where video generation happens. So I'll just play that film and then I'll welcome Lulu for whatever questions she may have.
For thousands of years, we roamed the land, hunting, surviving. And when the day was done, we sat by the fire and spoke. We passed down memory. We found our purpose telling stories. But when we learned to work the land began to work us. We became laborers, building great monuments, temples, and cities, all while the fires dimmed and the time to speak grew scarce. Then, everything changed. In a single lifetime, we leapt from light bulbs to supercomputers. Machines took over our labor, and now they're automating our information. And for the first time, we're not sure what comes next. Where will we find meaning? Perhaps it's time to rediscover who we've always been. Storytellers.
Wow. Come on, guys. Wasn't that incredible? Just amazing. I think you've given us a real sense of the why, the what. I want to get a little bit more into the how for everyone here who's dreaming of being the next you.
Sure.
Okay, so let's just start
Hello.
with what are these tools? How have you produced it? What was the learning journey? Tell us a little bit about just how you got your head wrapped around this.
Okay, so like I said, it's an organic process. For me, it was an organic process. Now, for anyone who wants to learn, They can, like, that's what I did. You go to YouTube and you learn. That's all the Harvards and the Whartons and all the big schools. I think YouTube is the biggest school, especially for people who do not have access to that kind of education. Everything is available on YouTube. You go, you just have to willing to spend enough time, have that persistence, have to be willing to bang your head against the wall continuously till you get it. Like when I started, I think my ratio of a successful image to the generation was 1 image in 50. Right now it's 1:4. So that's the journey that happens, because it's not just you learning the machine learns you too, right? So it attunes itself to your taste, what you like in terms of saturation, contrast. You can train it a certain way in what you want to create. You can do anime, you can do live, whatever art form you want to do. And these are multiple softwares. Like there are softwares like Midjourney, where people generate images. Then Kling, Google, VO2, Runway. These are the places where you animate them. Then there are audio softwares like 11 Labs, where you can go and do this. So all this is made accessible to people. And it is not that difficult to learn. The difficult part actually comes after, once you know the theory. The practical is a very, very difficult part, because to be able to sit at that machine when it is not giving you what you want, at some time it gives you close to what you want, sometimes it doesn't give you at all what you want. And then to be able to stay at it is I think where the difficult part lies. But yeah, quite a lot of it is possible, and I mean all of it is available on YouTube, so one can learn.
So a lot of learning mindset, persistence against all odds, storytelling clearly.
Oh yeah, that I think is crucial, because in the entire process, what I realized, there are some incredible movies, incredible short films that are coming out, but the ones which are still standing their ground are not the ones which look great, or which has the best amount of technology and the most money spent. It is where the best stories are told. And I think if one has control over that craft, or one is good at that, if one is a natural storyteller or has learned the craft, I think it gives you a voice. Earlier, you would sit in your rooms and have a screenplay in your hand, and you would keep thinking, when will this thing get made? Most of them never get made. Actually, the statistics are baffling. 1% of the screenplays registered in the world ever get made. That's 99% of the stories that we will never get to see, not because those are not good stories. I'm sure you can filter it out, but still there's for every one good movie made, I think there are 20 good movies that are not made. So I think this makes that possible. And also, we are not in the business of making, say, soap or toothpaste, where you have a limited consumption, right? 100 people will only consume so much toothpaste in a month, right? Content right now, the appetite for content is insane, because we are now living in a society where people have been exposed to internet, like when I was in school, if you would tell me that my best friend's favorite food would be Japanese and another one's would be Korean, I wouldn't believe you. I didn't even know what those foods were like, right? But as we grew and as we saw this entire internet and the entire exposure happened, now all of us in my same household, 5 people want to watch 5 different things. So the appetite for content is actually growing in comparison to other things. So I think the more the story, the merrier. Yeah.
Gosh, we have to watch this space, right? Just incredible pace of change. Let's make it really relevant to everyone in the room here.
Sure.
So let's assume that someone's inspired by you, they start learning, they start practicing, they start making ad films.
Right.
And they take it to clients.
Right.
How will clients react? And what are some of the IP issues? Can everyone in the room just start doing this and applying it to ad films and content for social media?
Okay, so there are 2 parts to it. One, if you go and, like, I have read all their contracts, all their licenses that these platforms give me. So whatever you, so there are terms and conditions. As long as you're not uploading stuff, like I can't take a picture of you tomorrow, upload it, or say Kareena Kapoor's picture, or say Shah Rukh Khan's picture, and say make an actor look like Shah Rukh Khan. That would be violation of privacy, right? But if I am giving it as a painter, so like AI doesn't learn the way, AI actually exactly learns the way we learned in school, which is 100 of us are sitting, you are shown, say, 500 images of women, and then you're asked to draw a beautiful woman, right? So you are taking all that knowledge, you're crystallizing it, adding your own thought to it, and then recreating your thoughts, rather than taking an image and just copying it. So that's how this image generation happens. On top of that, because it's such a new space, there is not much legislation that has happened. But in February 25, in the US, their copyright law came out on AI. They said there is nothing that needs to be added to the existing copyright law. As long as there is human intervention, like your prompts, your thoughts, it can be copyrighted. So you can copyright stuff, and yes, it can be produced for commercial use. In fact, it is being produced for commercial use in India also. I have seen several ads, especially down south, people are doing this a lot. There was like this ad we put out, right? Then there is a company that's doing ads in Kerala, which are all brands which exist. I think Britannia also put out an ad recently, last week. For something. Again, it was a regional ad, but it was put out by Britannia. So yeah, clients are accepting this. I don't think it's going to, it cannot replace everything, right? But there are times when I have had pitches with the agencies where it was just, it didn't happen because the budgets were not there, the time was not, there are multiple factors. I think in all those special scenarios, this is a great tool for your AVs, for your previs. Like the spec ads that we made are a much better thing to show as a previs than the animatics now. So I think that can evolve. So on all levels, not just the final film, I think on all levels in advertising, it can evolve. And I'll tell you one very basic example. Like in a PPM, I have a 100 slide deck, right? Because I have 3 slides which are just for look and feel. Then I have a few slides which are just for the actor. Then I have slides which are just costumes. So all these slides had to be put out in that way because there is no tool to bring it all of them together. Right now there is. So I can give you one slide in which I can put the costume, I can put the look and feel, I can put the lighting, and all that can happen. So that your 6 hours PPM would become a 2-hour PPM. Right? So that's also something.
Actually, that's a great seg, Vivek, into my next question, which is time and budget.
Right.
Favorite topics.
Right.
So traditional way of producing this content, the AI-led way. Give us a sense of the saving on both ends.
Okay. So I think saving is incredible, but at the same time, it is not nothing, right? Because now there's a misconception that you go type something and the film comes out. That's not how it works. There's a lot of man hours that go into it. But earlier, the man hours of everyone was going into it. Now you're paying the artist, whoever is sitting on the machine. Like we would pay the best VFX studio, say a little more than the next in line and the next in line and the next in line. So I think your cost will vary on the AI artist that you're working with. But other than that, the cost of subscription and platforms is very little, actually, if you come to think of it, only in comparison to what your traditional advertising is. Because in a way, you're not physically going to a location. You're not carrying a 70-people crew to a remote place with those cameras, with those the entire equipment, the entire manpower, all that on specifically. Like I'll tell you, for performance ad, you still need to do it. That's not where AI is right now. But for ads where you specifically are montages, like my jewelry ad, right? It's a montage. It is just pretty looking jewelry on a pretty looking woman is what it is. And there are a lot of ads which are that montages where you don't need to have an emotional communication between two people. In that space, I think this is something that can happen and can happen more frequently. Like, there's a new collection. A lot of times the client has to choose which collection they want to put an ad out on. Here they don't need to. They can do it for everyone. So and the cost is, I think, less than 10% is how I'd put it.
Interesting. Talking about montages, if AI produces these different ads, where's the value then? Because when we're building brands, differentiation is important.
Right.
If every ad in jewelry looks just like the other, okay, one is shot in Paris, the other shot.
But it doesn't. No, it doesn't. See, if you like, you have the top 10 filmmakers, advertising filmmakers in the country. Their films don't look the same. right? The guy who's sitting on the machine is still visualizing for you. It is still his vision. The machine is just enabling the vision.
So the value is with that guy.
Yes, the value is still in the human being.
Human.
The machine is still just enabling you to do it faster, better, with more control over things, and with things, making things possible which were not possible. Like on some brands, you don't have the budget to go to Paris and shoot a commercial, right? But you want to. That's where your references clearly are, in the deck. But then, you make adjustments and you come to a place where, you can't do it. So you try and pull it off on a set. You compromise. I think those compromises don't need to be made anymore.
But why would anyone want to go to Paris if we assume that the quality is improving and at some point you're not going to be able to tell, almost like diamonds, right? The real diamonds versus the artificial lab diamonds.
Right.
In which scenario is someone actually going to shoot?
Are you asking me whether someone will actually go to shoot to Paris at one point?
In the future, why would anyone want to do that?
I don't think anybody would do it.
Okay, so what does that mean for agencies and the number of people that we have in our agencies? How do you see that changing? It maybe just requires a few people, like Rishad Tobaccowala was saying.
Right.
Few of these humans with this incredible tool set and lots of imagination.
Right.
So what's the future?
I mean, I'm too small a guy to tell you what the future is. But yes, it is a reality that, this will bring down a little bit of manpower. But I still think agencies especially have a very, very important role to play. I'll tell you why, because it's still about communication, right? Whether it's communication with a machine, whether it's communication with a human being, why does an agency exist today? Let's talk about that, right? You have a client who has a product who needs you to break it down, figure it out, what is the best way to project it, that a machine is not doing, that the machine will not be able to do. Because to be able to understand a product and a client and a philosophy on a ground level with all the factors involved is where human beings come in, right? Talking to you, figuring out what do you want to do with your brand, where do you come from, what is your childhood. The machine doesn't do all that at this point. Also on top of that, I think for agencies also it's a great tool to use, because half the time ideas or strategies get rejected because there is not enough proof on paper to show. Right now you can show a client, we are saying this is the idea, because this is the visual, because this is the strategy, and the numbers are showing it, and this is backed by this. So that way, I think it is I think a great tool for agencies to use to convert business rather, because half the time it's about whether I like you enough or not, or whether I believe you enough or not, is when the decision is made, right? A lot of the data-backed pitches can be made now, and I think it's a tool that everybody can use to their advantage rather than fearing it and freezing. So, but yeah, I think that is still not everyone. So I think the people who do it are going to have an advantage over others.
So let's talk about those who decide to do it, Vivek.
Yes.
Give us a sense of how long is this learning journey? Is it months, years? I know you said there's a lot of effort. I don't know if you can quantify it, but is there a 3-month crash course you can take somewhere online? Guide us to places to start.
I don't know specifically for, say, I think for agencies, it's closer. What would be more interesting is to learn LLMs, large language, like ChatGPT is, right? Eventually, if you learn how to train it to tell you what you need to know, it can do an incredible job. The people in the world who are leading are all using it to their advantage because they know how to use it. What you need to learn is not to use it, but how to use it. And I think, again, for that also, there are now, I think, IIT, even ISB, they're all opening up these courses for AI. So it is happening all across the world. But I'm telling you, the best way still, according to me, is to sit on the machine, go on YouTube, go on Google, type. You will land on that video. That will change your perspective. That will land you to another video. And that is how it happened for me. And then you will find a community of people who are all where exactly you are. And then you start talking, and then doors starts opening. So yeah.
It all goes back to the rabbit hole of the internet.
Yes.
So just coming back to agencies, I wish we'd done a Mentimeter poll.
Sorry?
I wish we had done a Mentimeter poll of how people are feeling when they saw that ad.
Right.
What's your sense when you show it to people? Are people a bit dismissive, thinking
Oh, yeah,
this
they
is
are.
a little project that you're doing? This is not really our future. Tell us a little bit about the reactions that you're getting from...
So I get a lot of hate.
Hate?
Yeah, because I mean, at some point, a lot of people do also see it as a replacement for them. So there is that feeling. Then some people are like, हाँ ये आएगा कभी तो जब आएगा तब देखेंगे. And then there are some people who are really, I can tell you my personal experience, the business guys in entertainment industry are taking it very, very seriously. Because they know that this is happening. In fact, James Cameron, I think, is on the board of Stability AI. There's a clip, if you can go on YouTube and find Darren Aronofsky in his latest film has used AI for a lot of shots. So all the top guys are seeing where this is going. And it's just a matter of time before everybody realizes it. Till then, I mean, the early starters will always have the ridicule and the hate and everything. But that is something that you have to be prepared for. And I am prepared for it. It's all right.
I'm very excited about your movie coming out later this summer. I read that everything in the movie is AI except the music.
Yes.
So why not the music? Because you have these tools that can also do music.
So like I said, that not everything is replaceable. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So the commercial that you saw, because of the nature of the commercial, it was more about the vibe. So that music was actually made on AI.
Okay.
But in the feature film, where it's very, very deliberate, the background score is extremely deliberate. You're trying to punctuate the pauses. You're trying to take the flow from one place to another and all those things. That deliberation AI does not have. AI is very generic in nature. So you can use it for those things. Like right now, for sound effects, which are absolutely generic in nature. A car screech or a telephone ringing. Those, no matter where you go, you're going to find the same thing. For those, AI is very, very good. But if you want to do deliberate storytelling, for that, because background score and songs are also a part of storytelling, right? So AI is not there yet with those things.
How far away are we?
I don't think it will be, because for long format, no, what happens is it is in the voice of the filmmaker, right? Any long, like why is a Spielberg film different from a Scorsese's film, from a Tarantino's film to a David Fincher film? Because this is in the voice of the filmmaker itself, right? So the voice of the filmmaker, everybody has that rhythm. Like a Spielberg would pause at a certain point. A Rajkumar Irani would pause at a certain point, a Vishal Bhardwaj would pause, and the other guy may not, right? So when you look at that deliberate storytelling, which needs to then sink in with your rhythm, then you need control, way more control than what AI can give you. And hence, I think a lot of filmmaking will remain the way it is. It is just that we can, like I'll tell you, drone shots, right? I did a feature film. We spent so much money, and it was so difficult to get those drone shots of Uttarakhand. Now I will never shoot a drone shot again. Because that's again a generic shot. It's just a pretty beautiful shot of this place. It can be done. But if I need the kid in my film to come to the father, express something, AI won't do it. So there...
Never will or not now?
I mean, I won't say never ever, because that's not something that you say. Because theoretically it's possible that AI will do it. But we'll see where it goes.
So do you refer to yourself now as a filmmaker, a prompt engineer, a storyteller? Who are you?
I would say a storyteller, because that's eventually all of these things are a way to tell a story. Whether you're writing it on a piece of paper, whether you're making a short film, whether you're making an ad, whether you're making a feature film, whatever we are doing here right now is also storytelling, right? So yeah, I'm saying I would be a storyteller. I'm a storyteller.
Excellent. Right, so we're going to wrap up.
Yeah.
One last opportunity for you to make your elevator pitch or stump speech on the importance of this to our industry.
Okay. Okay. So I would just urge everyone to take a look at this, is what I would say. See what it makes you feel. See if it makes you feel empowered. See if it makes you feel scared. Because we all can't be ostriches with our heads in the sand. This is coming. This is here. We might as well use it to our benefit, to do things which you were not capable of doing yesterday. And yeah, make it a part of our arsenal is what I would say.
Excellent. Fantastic insights. I would go back to just one thing that Rishad Tobaccowala said on the first day. AI today is underhyped.
It is.
And if you look at just what we've seen, can you just imagine what's coming? I hope that Vivek's work has opened up our eyes a little bit, that we all go and do some research on it, start getting used to the tools, and I'm really excited for all of the storytellers from all corners of India to emerge.
Yes.
But thank you for this amazing session.
Thank you for the opportunity.